Welcome back. Heaven knows the growth stories are as rare as Jacob Zuma's terminal condition. So a shout out to Purple Group and Easy Equities for those interim results. From 1,400 to 945,000 active users in a decade. Well played. Kudos to them. I mean, they went from what, a 0.8 cent loss to a 0.8 cent profit. I know, come on, David.
No, I'm not saying anything. At least it's the right direction.
Yeah. Most of it was inactivity fees, thank you, Thrive, but whatever, they made money.
You know what they're doing? They're trying. And I have to give them
and
credit
succeeding,
for it.
I have to say.
And,
I mean, I don't want to sound like a purple shawl because I have purple shares.
Me too.
And a purple
And
shirt.
a purple top. That wasn't intentional.
But they're providing a service that we need to keep the JSE going.
And
I think because the
945,000 accounts. That's, I mean, I remember it at Standard Bank when we crossed, I think it was 100,000. And we drank champagne for a week.
Yeah, no, credit to them. They really do a good service, and it's particularly for investors at the low end, where even the fees, although you're moaning about them, are low. Because if you go to another broker, etc., the minimum
there is no ways you're paying $25.
Exactly.
No. Anyway, good luck to them.
Anything? I mean, is this our fintech champion, our one and only in South Africa? And are the shares actually priced appropriately?
Our fintech champion is Yoko, but no comment on the numbers.
Yoko.
Oh, Yoko.
Yeah. There's blue terminals everywhere.
The reason why you can swipe your card in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Fintech, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love
they're on a forward PE of around 60, which is a lot, but the first time I bought Capitec, it was 90. Question is, are they?
The first time I bought Google was 300, so.
Okay.
Well, if only there was more fizz on the JSE, but maybe there will be. Plans are apparently afoot to split the JSE's main board into two segments, one for large players, another cheaper option for the small contenders. It was Business Day's story today.
So what does it mean for revenues?
Long overdue?
Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't
To be fair, when I buy a share, I don't look where segment it is, anything. I look for the code, A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever it is, and you buy the share.
It doesn't mean anything for you, but if you're a company considering a listing, it might mean something.
Is it the fees?
That's what I mean. It's the fees.
But is it? Is it the fees the problem, or is it the fact that the reason that you list is to raise capital and the like, and that simply, and to use script, expensive paper to buy cheap assets, and that's all expensive assets, and that's just not happening. Except for a couple of property stocks.
I promise you, we buy cars, didn't consider the fees. They listed.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a finite universe of successful businesses in South Africa.
That's a problem.
So I think that's what they're trying to solve with this.
But they've got to go deeper. And I mean, Paul Miller is the champion for trying to investigate why exactly have we had such an incredible shrink on the JSE. And part of the issue is that it's not tax efficient for people to invest, to buy shares. It's much more tax efficient to buy unit trusts. You don't get whacked with all the the capital gains tax, the dividend withholding tax,
Yeah,
et
but
cetera.
that's always been the case anywhere you go. It's the same in the UK. It's the same.
Sure,
with
but then
mutual
lobby
funds.
the regulators to change that, because if you do want to encourage a thriving capital market, you've got to make changes. But no one at National Treasury is considering this.
No, but remember
within my account.
But remember, once you have a tax conversation, the tax people are going to say no, because that's their income.
I know.
Yeah.
So if you're telling them to cut their income, it's not going to happen.
See,
Not
how
in this
big
country.
is it? How big? What do they raise on capital gains? How dividend tax? Yes. Capital gains tax? We don't know the number.
STT, all of that stuff.
Capital gains is small, because when you look at it, it's corporate, or it's individual, it's corporate, it's VAT, and then it's other.
But the stock exchange will fail as a result of that. And the reason is you've got everyone from Allen Gray to Coronation to Investec with armies of people selling products. Those products are not interested in small caps. If they do, it's on a marginal type basis. So how many people out there, how many investors out there actually have their own share portfolios? The majority of people I see come to me with a list, and they're in this fund, that. I say, what do you own? We don't know.
Yeah, and when
we don't know.
And the small cap space
Can you help
there,
me with that?
but not a heck lot happening. I mean, there's been two exceptions this week, Colgrow, M3 and Purple, and I know that because I watch them, because I hold them. But it's largely, I mean, I remember the small caps in the 90s, the 2000s, up to that LTX boom in 2007. I mean, there was excitement, there was stuff happening, there was money to be made.
We've been swamped by passive investment, absolutely swamped and overwhelmed. So you're not going to get it going.
passive investment and a very weak economy.
Yeah.
In which, it's just
Yeah.
so damn
Double
hard
whammy.
to run a business.
Yeah.
Why buy purple when you can get Google on a 300 forward?
It's very unpatriotic.
But brave for a man in a plaid shirt. Given PSG's latest results, there sure is money to be made in the investment world. Here's Mike Smith on their latest numbers.
Particularly considering the challenging economic environment and that, we're pleased with the growth. If I look at our wealth division, which is our largest division, contributed 64% of our earnings. In that division, they accumulated 19.6 billion of positive net client flows, and we also had a 30 billion rand positive market performance. So that was providing good investment outcomes for those clients, and that division was up 17%.
So, I mean, they're making money, but to your point, David,
What they're selling.
they're selling. They're making it from what they're selling,
selling
not from
products.
that person sitting in front making their own buy and sells.
No, I don't know what percentage of those were personal portfolios, bespoke portfolios. I doubt.
It did say PSG Wealth was
Yeah.
the driver of
The 12.
Yeah, but it's, they sell products.
Yeah.
They'll
Unit
put you
trusts.
into, this is our unit trust, this is A, B, C, D, E.
Insurance,
Yeah.
this, yeah.
And they make big fees. You don't think they're making big fees, but underneath there
No,
are
they're
fees.
making good fees.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can see it from the results. And it's actually weird that the two stockbrokers released this week both did well, and yet the market is, anything
Yeah.
but.
And it also goes to show that there is money to be invested. People want to build wealth. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you should see more capital flowing directly into companies rather than this. Do you see what I'm saying?
I understand
the
what you're
conduits
saying.
of money.
Yeah, it's so difficult to address this problem because of the force of the people who are knocking on the door and selling you the products. If they came to you and said, I want to do my own stuff, can you help me put a portfolio? No money in it for me.
There's no money in
Yeah.
in simplicity.
Yeah. And just taking up 1% transaction fee every so often.
I keep saying, I think the saddest is with the gold price at 2,400, we would have been having champagne in the old days and long lunches and everything. Today, the gold sector's
5 stocks.
600 billion, of which Goldfields and Anglo Gold are not in South Africa anymore. And I think it's almost symbolic of what's happened here. Do we have it is sad.
Want to have a little cry. Also, we're
is.
not having champagne at lunch because we're all very health conscious and we want to go for a run afterwards rather than booze ourselves.
This
to
is
the max.
symbolic.
No, I was about to say, that sounds like more of a you problem.
I don't know.
We'll have Pellegrino,
I don't know what.
Pretend.
and pretend.
I don't know what that
Pretend
is,
it's
but
period.
It's bubbly
Way.
water.
no.
Well, who wouldn't want to be a banker when the pay is just that good? Take Mike Brown's last year's packages, Nedbank CEO, 92.5 million smackers to secure the Brown dynasty. You can see why Old Mutual also wants to go there, if only for the perks. There's just that small matter of having to run a bank, we suppose. So they've got the go-ahead. We've talked about this before. We can't really understand why anyone would like to set up a new bank in South Africa. But
after having got rid of Nedbank just a few years
Yes,
ago.
exactly.
But hey,
I don't know where the charm is of having a bank. How many banks have we got? I think we've got more banks than politicians here.
I mean, what do you mean you don't know where the charm is? You just heard what she
Yeah,
said.
there's a charm.
There's a charm right there.
No. I honestly,
I do
we don't want to go there anymore.
Exactly.
Just made too many enemies. Yeah.
but it was just how many years ago when we had Sim and the white guy who shared the throne, Ben Kruger, and they got about 92 to share, and we thought that was obscene. And I mean, with respect to Mr. Mike Brown, who I wish was an uncle.
I keep saying it
But then
again.
their memory must be really short because you forgot about the main man at Investec before he left.
Well, yeah.
It was triple digits, not
Yeah, no,
double
he just
digits.
clapped through 100.
Exactly. So I don't know.
So everyone's just playing catch up, really.
Well, they
Why
did
are
anyway.
you justifying?
No.
But this is what they always do, right? They always justify it to say, well, we have to pay them a lot so they don't get headhunted. Firstly, ain't no one ever headhunted any of our CEOs. And secondly, the man's retiring. You can give him $20. What's he going to do? Quit.
No, but the thing is, there's always this argument that, once you become CEO, that's the end of your career because you can't be CEO ever again. You're CEO now, you stay another 6 years looking for a job, and you end up taking a consulting job. So what are you supposed to do for the next 6
I think
months?
Motus says you turn 65.
Right,
in
with
the
your
sleeve.
intelligence and your teachings and learnings and that, I don't know why you didn't join Standard or Investec, because slowly you would have just gone up one step at a time, one floor, and you
Not
soon.
who I am.
Instead you are
Instead,
scrabbling
yeah.
around with us.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get clients and build a business. That's what I'm passionate about.
You would be sad at Vestact.
Exactly.
Yeah, it sucks your soul. If you weren't convinced that the luxury story has legs, then how is this for a stat? Sales of handbags and perfumes made by LVMH account for a larger share of France's exports than all of the camembert and wine produced by the country. LVMH accounted for 4% of all French exports last year, beating the 3.2% of France's farm produce.
That's a lot of farm produce if it's 3% of French.
Look, it's obviously
GDP.
lower value, you know.
It's still impressive. Wow.
I don't know.
What do you think the Swiss
yeah.
cheeses also like make up? But Switzerland is a...
If you,
per
saw
square
the
mile is
temples
tiny.
to luxury, or what's the word that I want
Temples
to
to
use?
Mammon.
That's the one. Yeah. On Fifth Avenue, yeah, you'll understand exactly why. And now, if you want to keep abreast, it's New Look and Miss Dior, you know, on this new thing, which are both LVMH perfumes.
Yeah, so if you're trying to get a girlfriend also,
No.
you buy them a handbag these days. You're welcome.
Okay, good, thanks. Yeah,
Okay.
good
Yeah.
intel.
I'm just worried about the farmers. I'm worried like that.
Yeah, and
we
not a
must equal-
Woolworths handbag.
must
Okay,
equal-
no.
Eat more camembert cheese, people.
And finally, in case you were also toying with the idea, you may know not register dead Colombian drugman Pablo Escobar as a trademark in the EU. The reason we know this because his brother tried. Escobar Inc., a company set up by his brother Roberto, filed an application in 2021 with the EU's Intellectual Property Office to register Pablo Escobar as a trademark for goods and services, but it rejected the application as the mark was contrary to accepted principles of morality.
Hang on a second. What were these goods and services that
Exactly.
Escobar Inc. was looking to offer?
Cannabis gummies, I think.
No. So there was a documentary about Pablo Escobar, and the guy bought the rights, and they were trying to sell T-shirts, all of that type of stuff.
Merch.
Yeah, I bet you. But in the back office, we got a problem. We got
No,
a
but he even
solution.
came on the documentary saying that basically his family name is ruined for life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wonder why.
So this is a perfect example. I think it was because he got rejected.
Yeah, you do the crime, you...
No, but he didn't do the crime.
I know, but don't profit from the crime.
The family name.
You know what
you're
I was
supposed to.
trying to go there, trying to rhyme it. We have to leave it there. David, Brian, thanks for joining us. Have a good evening and a great weekend.